All right, we're live, and this is the X Files, X Cast, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited. Donald Trump won South Carolina. So let's get down to business here. I really didn't care too much about this episode. It had its moments, and we'll talk about that moment, that great moment. But I really didn't care too much about this episode. Basically, the whole premise of this episode to me seemed like one big political message because
Yeah.
you have this Muslim, and he goes and bombs a art gallery. Now I like the beginning of it because as soon as they blow up the art gallery, you have these people on fire coming out of the art gallery. Now that was pretty cool, but I, then after that, it took a weird turn. Apparently, the suicide bomber was still alive and on life support. So Mulder and Scully and the new agents, we'll get into the new agents, but the new agents come in, Einstein and Miller,
Yeah.
and so Mulder wanted to basically contact or try to speak to this suicide bomber.
Hmm.
Um, Henry, your
Yes,
thoughts. Your thoughts.
I have to agree with you. This one just, the, we have a show about finding Bigfoot, and we always talk about clunkers with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a clunker.
it was. I mean, if you want to compare to the classic X Files, this could be a classic X Files clunker.
Yeah, yeah,
But this is written by Chris Carter. And Chris, dude, man, you write some of the good episodes. A handful of good episodes. What's the deal, dude?
yeah. This one was just, yeah. This one didn't do it for me.
Now the agents. I mean, I kind of figured that they was going to force them down our throat. I mean, not 5 minutes in, those new agents arrived. I
Hmm.
mean, as soon as you got done with the intro, those new agents was there. I mean, at least wait a few minutes or so. Wait until the next commercial break before bringing them in or something. But I had a feeling they was going to cram those new agents down our throats.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of had that feeling myself. I said, well, you say we got these new people.
Yeah,
They're gonna try and force them on us. And sure enough, that's what they did. And I mean, yeah, I wasn't impressed with Einstein and Miller.
yeah. I wasn't impressed either. I mean, make us if you're going to go on a direction of new agents, have them stand out of Mulder and Scully's shadows. Einstein, carbon copy of freaking Scully. Miller, carbon copy of Mulder.
Oh yeah, yep,
Like,
certainly.
have them stand out. You know, it'd be really great if both of them was skeptical and Mulder and Scully was mentoring them, and then they changed their beliefs from skeptical to a believer. That would be great. That would be interesting to see. But don't make
I
them
think
carving. Go ahead, Henry.
I think that would have added a lot more depth if both of them had been, if the new ones had been,
Skeptical.
yeah, if the new ones had been skeptical. I think that would have added some more depth to the show. I
Yeah.
mean, to this episode, because I mean, this one was disappointing. Yeah, and then we'll get more into that and why I thought it was disappointing, why we thought it was disappointing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, listen, Miller had red hair. Not Miller.
Einstein.
Einstein had red hair. And then Miller was
The
this
pantsuit. Don't forget about Einstein's pantsuit.
right? Yeah, the pantsuit. Yes, that too. Uh, if you're going to have somebody that's a little bit if you're going to bring in a different character, don't bring in one that is so similar to established characters that are already there.
Yeah, that's just going to make us hate them. And I mean, they're. I'm not going to go against anything on the actors. It's all the writer. It's all Chris Carter's fault for writing them to be carbon copies of Mulder and Scully. I
Yeah,
blame Chris Carter for this. The actors, they did great job, and there is something there between the two of them. I think if they try to, you know, make us more invested in these two agents, they needed to do a better job.
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they need a little bit more depth to their characters. That's
Yeah,
what
I
they
mean,
really need.
like I said, there's nothing wrong of having both of those agents to be skeptical, and having Mulder and Scully being mentors to those two agents. I think that'd have been freaking great. But again, with this 6 episode limit, that time constraint right there is what really did it for them.
I think so. And well, I got the news yesterday that the president of Fox is absolutely interested in more episodes.
Oh yeah, I heard that too,
So
and hopefully it'll be 10 episodes this go around instead of 6.
yeah,
Like I said, I hope there's more episodes and a movie. You know, because like Chris Carter said, there's going to be a huge cliffhanger Monday night, and either those 10 episodes can, you know, fill in the plot holes, and that movie can as well.
oh yeah. I mean, we could certainly use more X Files. I mean, despite what some of the critics have said, this revival has done very well in the ratings.
Yeah, it has, and this episode, I mean, you know, if I had to give this episode a rating, I have to give it a 2 or 3. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm gonna go along with that. I'm gonna go along with that.
now let's get into the really exciting part right here, because that's what saved it was Mulder's mushroom trip, and that was I thought that was the most hilarious segment
Oh,
ever.
that was
You have
great.
Mulder,
That
you have Mulder dancing to "Achy Breaky Heart." Um,
yeah,
then you had
achy breaking. He was achy breaking.
he was breaking something, but and let's go to a little disappointed. Although I like seeing him, the gunman was in that mushroom trip. They could have used them better. They could have used the gunman better.
Yeah,
But
but
they, go ahead, Henry.
I mean, it was great to see them, and then when they kind of switched gears with the hallucination, they had Mulder almost like as a slave rowing a boat, and the slave driver was the cigarette smoking man.
Yes, he was, and that's might be a little foreshadowing because we saw Mulder and the cigarette smoking man going to be doing a scene together in the finale, and that's going to be epic, epic,
And
epic.
it was funny. I PM'd you. Um,
Yeah,
it was Monday night. In fact, they had the episode of The Simpsons
yeah,
with
they
David
did.
Duchovny and Gillian Anderson.
They did the Simpsons files,
Yeah, they had that one where Mulder and Scully investigated Homer having an alien sighting.
and it was Mr. Burns.
It was Mr. Burns.
But
Yeah,
in
yeah.
one scene, you mentioned that, and I noticed it too, that the smoking man was in the background of one scene.
Yes, that's right. He was. I was like, yeah, there's a CSM.
But man, I do really like William B. Davis. I mean, he is
Yes.
epic, and we'll get to see more of him Monday night.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
But
I
go
think
ahead.
this Monday night's episode is gonna make up for this one.
It will. It will. And then next Saturday, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my rundown of what I rank all 6 episodes, and I'll give you my top 3. and I've already
Nice.
got the list in my head. Henry, if you got a list in your head, call it out Saturday night.
Well, one of them I can already say which what one of them is going to be. It was the lighthearted one, the third episode.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this is going to rank this episode. Babylon is going to be on my bottom. It's going to be number 6 on my bottom.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
I'm sure it's going to be on yours too.
yeah. I mean, but the subplot of this episode was the terrorists, the bombing and all that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost as if and it's almost as if they just kind of threw that in there. It's almost as if they kind of wrote it by the numbers, as it were.
yeah. This seemed kind of tossed together.
Yeah,
I mean, this episode basically did did no good except for establishing the new agents.
yeah, I think that's what it
I mean,
was.
there was no mention of this alien DNA arc that began. There was no mention of William. Um, I don't. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I didn't either. I did not like this episode. This was just like I said. There was the terrorist plot, which was just hackneyed. It was
I
just
mean, I think a whole terrorist plot could have been great for an X
yeah,
file,
it could have been,
but but
but this just
one fun fact was that in the beginning, Scully said that nobody's here but the FBI's most unwanted, which was what Mulder said to Scully in the pilot of the episode. So little Easter egg right there. But
uh-huh.
other than that, nothing really special in this episode.
No.
I like the whole mushroom trip. That I think that could have went somewhere else in an episode. I think that would have been great with the whole were monster, but it was hilarious. I liked it. Um, they could have done more with the lone gunman. I hope that the lone gunman appears again next week, and they do like a dream sequence again next week or something. You know,
Well, on this episode, we did see Skinner.
yeah, we saw Skinner in a
Yeah.
cowboy hat. So so
Yeah.
so so at the end they find the Babylon Hotel, which is where the main terrorist was doing their whole bombing plot. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty much it for this X Files. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they wrote it just so that next week would be more epic. But from what I've saw on the internet and from the preview they showed for Monday night, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
And let's see. I'm trying to think. What's the name of the episode for this? For this?
Babylon.
No, I'm talking about the season finale.
Oh, My Struggle Part 2.
My Struggle Part Two. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And
So go ahead.
during the Super Bowl halftime, we saw the preview.
Yeah, we saw the
Oh,
preview of that.
and they went a little bit different way with it. Instead of having Mulder narrate Mulder kind of recapped the original X Files series
Yes.
on My Struggle Part One.
Mulder was telling his side of the story of his association with the X Files, and now it's Scully's turn. Now, I like
Yeah.
how they did that. I like that a lot.
Oh, that was great.
That was
Yeah.
great. And then at the end of that, you see Scully turn into an alien.
Uh huh.
Oh man, we are in for an epic season finale, a fantastic
It
one at
is.
that. But that was pretty much it for this episode of the X Files.
Yeah.
Let's continue on with The Walking Dead.
Oh,
And
here we go.
And so in the beginning of The Walking Dead, you've got who wasn't Negan, who Henry you said
Yeah,
was Negan last week. I
I
knew
thought
it
it
wasn't Negan.
was. I thought it was, and it turned out it wasn't. We see Negan's gang or
His
his
crew.
his his crew, stopping Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah,
And
give us your weapons, give us your truck and everything. And
mhm.
uh, and I think Daryl and them said something. I think they may have said that, hell no, we're not going to.
No,
And
what Abraham said was like, "Who are you?" And the dude pulls out the gun, and then he says, "I'm not going to shoot you." And then he's like, "You know what? I'm kidding. I'm lying. I'm going to shoot you." But then Daryl, in his epic move
with the rocket launcher,
with the rocket
boom!
launcher, blew up Negan's gang.
But
Now,
before that, the leader of the gang told Abraham, if you're going to eat shit, best not to nibble.
yeah, exactly.
And then
That was hilarious.
after they got blown up, Abraham says, nibble on that.
Yeah, epic one-liner. But
Yeah,
so that epic explosion of a season premiere, I guess you could have mid-season premiere. Um, so do you think Daryl might be the one that Negan kills because of revenge? Because I
I
mentioned that
have
to you.
I've seen a couple of videos where the individuals hosting the videos said that there's a good possibility Daryl may eat the baseball bat.
Yeah, I've heard, and I saw the video of where there was a car coming up in the way in the back that you can see, and they say that that might be Negan watching
Hmm.
this whole thing place thing take
Yeah.
down.
Well,
Um,
the thing is, from one of the videos that I watched mentioned that there is a series coming to AMC about motorcycles,
yes, and
and it's
Norman
going to be
Reedus is hosting
hosted
it.
by Norman
Yes,
Reedus. Yes.
so he can't do two things. Well, he might be able to do two things at once.
Well, the thing is, this motorcycle show is going to take him quite a few places, like all over the United States. So,
Yeah, so he might not be able to commit to The Walking Dead anymore.
and I know those Daryl fans are like, no, yeah.
So, not only Daryl's life might hang in the balance, but Glenn's as well, as we saw again with the freaking tease that he might die.
There's been some speculation that the fake out with Glenn's death may have been attempting to prepare people for the possibility of a major character dying.
Well, and then I also you commented and said that Glenn was mentioning about past people, and I mentioned might be foreshadowing right there.
Yep, yep,
Because he
yep.
was talking about Andrea and Daryl and all the people that died.
Not Daryl, Herschel.
Not Daryl, but Herschel. Yeah, he was talking about past people that have
Dale. You're
died.
thinking about Dale. You're thinking about Dale, the guy with the
Yeah,
RV.
Dale, yeah. But that might be a little foreshadowing right there. We might get two deaths. We might get Daryl and Glenn.
Maybe.
And now some people say
Well,
that Maggie might die,
yeah, I've heard that too. I've
but
heard that
but
too.
Maggie's pregnant, so
Well, now, I heard that. Well, now in the comics, this is a spoiler for those who haven't read the comics of The Walking Dead. Glenn does get the bat.
yeah,
Does eat the bat,
yeah. Glenn
thanks
is
to
the one that
Negan.
dies from the bat, Negan's bat.
Yes, from Negan. Yeah.
But the show doesn't naturally follow the comics to a degree.
Right. No. Yeah. The show is the show kind of
It's
the
on its
show
own.
is yeah the show is kind of on its own little parallel.
Hmm.
Although now the show, I mean, in the comics, yes, Carl, and we're gonna talk about this. Carl
Ooh,
does lose an eye
he
in the
does lose an
comics.
eye in the comics, but not the way they showed it on the show.
Yeah. on this week's Walking Dead, I mean, we still had we had Rick and Michonne and Jesse and Ron and
Mhm.
Carl and Sam out there with the covered
The
with the
cover up.
Walker guts.
Yeah. And oh my God, was I so excited when the Walker bit Sam. I'm like, yes, yes, finally, thank God that freaking little brat's dead.
But then Jesse got bit too. I mean,
Now
they
that
got
surprised
Jesse.
me.
I
They
know.
were building that up to be Rick's second love interest, and
Yeah,
they just ripped his heart out.
they did. They did. And then Ron, he decided he was going to use try and shoot Rick.
And no, he shoot Carl, but he shoot got Carl by accident in the eye,
And
and the way he,
Michonne
yeah,
got Michonne got Ron.
yeah,
Michonne stabbed.
she took her freaking sword and just stabbed it right through him.
Yeah,
Man, Michonne is badass.
she is.
But the
She
way
is.
I watched the Talking Dead, and the way Greg Nicotero described it is that the bullet caught him through the orbital bone right here, and the bone shattered his eye, and that's how he
Oh,
got the eye out. But
oh man.
people's been commenting that Carl is going to be the mini governor.
Hmm.
But basically, what happened in this episode is that they got Alexandria back from the Walkers.
They
They
did.
killed every single Walker, and they did it in an epic way. They light the lake on fire, just one big giant fireball in the lake, lured the Walkers in there, and took them all out.
Yeah. Well, there was that one moment where we thought this is it for Glenn. We thought we thought it was over for Glenn because he was cornered by a bunch of walkers.
Yeah, I know, and they showed Maggie screaming and saying, "Glenn, no!" They teased us again.
And then
God,
Abraham and Sasha and Daryl showed up.
yeah, and that's what happened with the whole lake of fire.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was awesome.
Now we also saw that wolf,
The
the
wolf, yes. The one that kidnapped that girl. Was it Rachel?
Denise. Denise.
Denise. He kidnapped Denise, and I think he was taking a liking to her near
I
the
think he
end.
was. I think he was. I mean, he actually tried to help her.
Yeah, he tried to help her, which really surprised me. And then Carol shot him, killed him. Man, Carol, jeez,
Carol.
Carol.
Yeah, she's badass.
She,
Carol
sh
is.
Carol is had one amazing transformation. From the
Yeah,
first
she
season,
has.
she was the quiet, timid, shy, getting beat up by her husband, and then she broke out. She just went out. I think as soon as her daughter turned into a zombie and Rick killed her, I think that what's done it for her.
Yeah, and the actress Melissa McBride is just terrific.
Yeah,
Who
she
plays
is.
Carol?
She
You know.
is. If she dies this season, I hate to see her go, but hopefully she won't die.
Now, of course, we still have the conflict between she and Morgan. I think that's going to continue. I think there's going to be because Morgan, he will not kill humans. He'll kill walkers.
Yeah, yeah, because we saw that with that whole guy and that one whole episode that was dedicated to Morgan
Yeah, Eastman, the guy Eastman.
Eastman. Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt that was like a dull episode. I
I
didn't really.
liked it. I liked it
It
because
was all right. I mean, it showed more to Morgan. It gave us
it
more
did.
insight to
It
Morgan. But
did. Yeah, that's what I liked about it.
yeah,
It gave Morgan more character.
yeah,
Because well, I mean, really, the only things we knew about Morgan was like when he first showed up on the show
yeah.
in the
I
first
mean,
season.
that's like the first time we seen him. not including the whole, ending of the episodes. But that's like the first time we've seen him ever since Clear in the very first episode.
Well, no, he did come back. Remember when it was like was it the third season?
Yeah, it was like the third season, and that was in that episode Clear. He had like some kind of mental breakdown, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rick and Carl had found him.
hmm Yeah, and that was the last time we saw him was in season 3, and
He
then
was in this. He was in this town. He built these booby traps. Remember, he
yeah,
built
he
these
built the
like.
booby traps to kill the walkers.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was
That
great.
was that was awesome. He built like these barriers where the walkers would be impaled on them and
hmm
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think as of right now, I think the episodes with the governor was the strongest season because man, that governor was
Oh,
epic.
oh yeah.
I hope we get to
And
see the governor again in like a dream sequence or a hallucination of Rick.
David Morrissey, the actor that played the governor, was really great, and Lenny James, who plays Morgan, is really good.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much it on the Walking Dead this week. I think we nailed the main points of where they're going this season. They're going
Yeah,
with Carl getting his eye shot out. Negan is about to make an appearance sometime. Somebody's going to die. They're
yeah,
setting that
yeah,
up. Someone is going to die. Someone. It's got to be someone major like Glenn or Daryl.
yeah. See, because some people have made the points. Nobody cares enough about Morgan to get upset over if he's killed off. So it would have to be somebody. It would have to be one of the major characters. It
hmm
would have to be. It would have to be a fan favorite, and it would be designed to make people really despise Negan.
Yeah, yeah, and the only way to despise Negan is to kill off Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they did with the governor when he killed Herschel. That just put a freaking nail in the coffin with the governor because everybody hated the governor after that. Because Herschel was a fan favorite as well.
And I'm going to say something here. There's lots of people who are fans of Daryl, and that's fine. You can be a fan of Daryl. I like Daryl too, but I like the actor better. I like
Yeah,
Norman Reedus. And if he gets killed off, he just gets killed off. It happens. It's a TV show.
it's
Nobody's safe on this show.
I think people don't understand between fiction and reality, and those hardcore Daryl fan addicts
Uh
say,
huh.
"Oh, we write if Daryl dies." They
Or
don't
we'll quit
understand.
watching, or they'll quit watching
They
and all
quit
that stuff.
watching. Yeah, they don't understand the difference between reality and fiction and nonfiction and all of that. It's TV show. It's fake. It's entertainment. It's there for us to enjoy.
Yeah,
If Daryl dies, so be it. There's a reason why he's dead. He's off to
yeah.
make another TV show with him and his motorcycle.
Plus, he actually has a new movie coming out with Aaron Paul. It's called Triple Nine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he and Aaron Paul. Yeah, Jesse from Breaking Bad. Yeah.
I think that's going to be great. But I think we nailed all the facts with The Walking Dead. Better Call Saul premiered this week.
Oh, this was great. This was good. I love the opener. The opening
I did too.
sequence.
I did too. We're
We
back.
saw him
We're back as
back in the
Gene.
Cinnabon in Omaha. The
He's,
Cinnabon in Omaha.
now, from what I understand, is that we'll see more of Gene this season.
Oh,
So
really?
I think what Vince Gilligan said is that every episode is going to start with Gene in Omaha, in Nebraska, and it's going to
Oh,
be in black and
wow.
white. So that's going to be great. I love those openings.
Oh, I know. 'Cause it was very reminiscent of the very first episode where they did that.
Yeah, it was. It was very reminiscent. And every time they cut, you know what I think they should do? Every time they show Gene, they need to do it in black and white. They have to do it in black and white.
Yeah, they
That's
should.
the
They should.
only way they can do it.
Yeah. and I like the fact that he's going he they're closing the Cinnabon down. He's taking the garbage to the garbage room. He gets locked in there,
Yeah, and he's
and then
he's basically in between a rock and a hard place right now. Should he open the door, signal the cops, and go through the emergency exit, or just wait on somebody to open the door,
yeah, that's right. He because he was considering
the
going
emergency
out the
exit?
emergency exit. Yeah,
So Gene, he's a little bit more cautious as Gene Saul is.
yeah.
I don't think he wants to have cops involved or anything like that.
So he finds something on the
He finds
floor
a
of
screw.
a screw. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he carves in the wall. SG was here.
Saul, Saul Goodman was
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Nobody. I mean, there was all kinds of graffiti already on the wall anyway,
Yeah,
and
plus it
nobody.
was very small too, so you couldn't even notice it.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know who SG is, even if they read it. They're gonna be like, "Who the hell's SG?"
Exactly. Who's SG?
Yeah,
So in the premiere of Better Call Saul, Jimmy, aka Saul, aka Gene,
Slippin' Jimmy.
Slippin'
Slippin' Jimmy
Jimmy,
was back.
Slippin' Jimmy was
Slippin' Jimmy.
back with Slippin' Kimmy,
I know. That
with
was great.
Slippin' Kimmy,
He got Kim
and
involved too.
He got Kim involved. So basically, Saul was on vacation. Jimmy was on vacation. He was on a short vacation, thinking his options over. Should he take the deal? Should he not continue on to be a lawyer? And basically, give up because of what Chuck said, that
Yeah,
he's not a real lawyer. And
yeah,
that giving a law degree to Slippin' Jimmy is like giving a machine gun to a monkey.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
he and Kim.
we see this new character played by Ed Begley Jr.
Oh yes, we see one of the law associates, and I'm
Yeah,
really intrigued with Ed Begley Jr. in this. I'm really
yeah.
intrigued. I think he's gonna play a major role in Jimmy becoming Saul.
He might. And a lot of people may not know. A lot of people today may not know who Ed Begley Jr. is. He was on a show called Saint Elsewhere, and I recommend
Yeah, I
people
remember
look
that.
that up.
I've heard it.
He
I
was
haven't seen it, but
he
I remember it.
was he was on a show called Saint Elsewhere, where Denzel Washington got his start. That's the show that Denzel got his start
And the
on.
guy that does the voice of Kit in Knight Rider
William
was on that
Daniels,
too.
yes, William
Yeah.
Daniels. That's right.
Yeah. So, but in the beginning, you see Slippin' Jimmy and Slippin' Kimmy, doing a con on Ken. Ken wins from
Ken.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Ken.
and for those who may not be aware of who we're talking about, if you remember season one of Breaking Bad, Walter is
At the gas station.
at the gas station, and there's this guy with an earpiece,
Yeah. And
and
it's the
he's real.
same guy that Walt was behind in when he went to pay his bill for the medical bills.
Yeah, and he's real obnoxious, a real jerk. So Walter blew his car up.
He took the squeegee and put it on the engine or the transmission, and it blew up. But what really stood out to me is that Saul does the exact same thing in Breaking Bad. He's got the little Bluetooth, and he's loud and obnoxious, and he sees that he sees Ken like that, and that might be a little Ken and Saul Goodman.
Probably so. Probably so.
But at least Saul is a little bit more tolerable than Ken.
I know, I know, but that was a great shout out to Breaking Bad, a great Easter egg to
Yeah.
have Ken on there.
Yeah, and Vince Gilligan said that somebody early on in season one was going to be in Better Call Saul, and we was expecting, oh man, is it going to be Crazy Eight, or is it going to be the other guy? What was him?
Oh, Crazy Eight, and
Crazy Eight, and
what was the other guy's name?
shoot,
Was it Manuel?
I think it was Emmanuel. No, Crazy Eight.
The other guy was Emmanuel. or Manuel. I think that was his name.
Was Crazy 8 the one that Walt killed?
Oh, gee, I think so. He's doing a quick search.
Yeah, Google. Okay, Crazy 8 was the one that Walt killed,
Yeah,
but he had his partner with him,
his
Emilio.
partner, Emilio.
Emilio.
Yeah, Emilio. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
so that's what we was expecting, but
Uh huh.
it's still early on, and we still
Yeah,
might get him because
yeah.
in the previews we've heard a name drop, a huge name drop by Mike
Tuco.
Tuco. Tuco.
Yes.
But we're actually forgetting something. We're forgetting this major plot point with Price and Nacho. My God,
Oh
this
yeah.
oh my God, I love freaking Price. He is hilarious. So you
Oh
have
no. Yeah.
so Mike was in this episode. So Mike and Price was
Yeah.
basically
Mike.
so Price was coming to pick up Mike to do what they did earlier in season one, which is exchange the pills for money with Nacho. But Price comes in this big old Jeep, this Hummer, decked out Hummer with its big and yellow spinning tires, a little flag that's as an antenna. And Mike was like, "I'm not getting in
has
that."
has flames down the
Fly,
side of it.
flames on the side of it, a license plate that says "Playa."
Yeah, and Mike is like, yeah, I'm not getting in that.
Mike was
I'll
like, "I'm
follow
not getting
you.
that."
He
He's
says,
like,
I'll follow you.
and Price, he's like, "You know what? I don't need you." He's been coming alone all these times. So we get to the exchange, and Price is chatting up Nacho, saying, "Hey, man, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Feel the leather and everything." And we finally get who Price really is. We finally get a name mentioned. His name is Daniel. His real name is Daniel. And so apparently Nacho broke into Daniel's house and took the money back. And so
Yeah.
what Price did was kind of reminiscent of the Kettlemans. He basically trashed his own house and called the cops and said, "Hey, they stole baseball cards from me."
Yeah. And the cops noticed something a little bit off about the baseboards.
Yeah. So they took out the sofa and found out the baseboards were hiding something. And that's all we know. That's
Yeah.
exactly all we know. So I'm calling it right now that Price is going to be the very first client of Saul Goodman.
That could be
Mike
possible.
Mike's going to call up Jimmy and said, "Hey man, I got a job for you," and it's going to be Price. He's going to help Price get out of trouble.
It was great to see Mike Brown bagging it. In this episode, he had that pimento
Pimento
sandwich in there.
cheese. He
Yeah,
had his
pimento with
pimento and
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
So at the end of it, Jimmy was like, "You know what? I'm going to take the deal." He takes the deal to become an associate at Davidson and Sons, or I forgot the law firm, and he finally got what he wanted. He got his own office. He got his Coca-Cola
Coco Bolo desk.
desk. Uh, but then he noticed something. He noticed the light switch, and he says, "Do not leave on at all times." He flips the switch. Nothing happens, and flips it on. So it's going to be an interesting season for sure.
But now we forgot to mention something. When he went back to the nail salon, he was going to get some cucumber water. They said cucumber water for customer only. So he sticks his mouth under the tap and then just drinks it straight from the tap.
Yeah, and that's more, and we're getting more of him sticking it to the man, really.
Yeah, I think so. I
So, and
think
then he goes
so.
into his office. He tears down the sign of McGill and
Uh-huh.
goes back and closes the door. So,
Yeah,
we're getting anti-establishment Jimmy here
I think so. And he still had the pinky ring, by the way, the one that he got from
for
his friend,
Marco. For
from
Marco.
Marco.
So
Yeah,
he's wearing it. So This is anti-establishment Jimmy was saying.
I think so. Yeah,
But I saw a
yeah. He was
preview
wearing the.
of I saw a preview of next week's episode, and he's getting a brand new car. And he's towing the old car off. He's getting
Oh,
a new car.
yeah. He needs to get a new car for that to replace that POS.
Exactly. And plus, we are going to see Hamlin and Chuck next week. And they're
Yeah.
going to be in the same room. Hamlin's going to be in Chuck's house. And
So yeah.
Chuck,
So
Chuck,
now
and
Chuck.
the preview, Chuck asks, "Have you heard from Jimmy?" And Hamlin told him that he took a deal for being a lawyer at this new firm, and that's going to be interesting how to see how that turns out.
Yeah, and now Chuck is getting back out in the world again
Yeah,
after
slowly,
having.
slowly but surely.
I think what was wrong with him was just psychosomatic.
I think he had this whole cloud over his head, and that whole cloud was Jimmy. And I think Jimmy was the one that's putting all that stuff in his head. And since Jimmy's not there, he's going to get back out.
Hmm. Yeah, I still think it was psychosomatic. I really don't think he was. You know, I mean, there is a disorder. You know, and we've talked about it that there is a
Mhm.
disorder where where people are they fear like electrical currents and all that, and that's why he had no lights on in his house
Yeah, the
and no.
electromagnetism.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that. And he always had the space blanket over him and all that.
Hmm. Yeah, but I think we're going to be in a really excellent ride for the next couple of weeks in season two.
Yeah, this is going to be great. You know, and hey, Gotham is coming back a week from this Monday,
Yes, Gotham is coming back, and Mr. Freeze is coming back.
and Professor Strange.
Hugo Strange is back, and Fish Mooney is back.
Fish Mooney's going to be back.
And
That's
we see
right.
Pee Wee
Yes.
Herman as Mr. Cobblepot, Penguin's dad. So they're in a star-studded cast this season,
Yep.
mid-season.
Yep. Yeah, I think Gotham is going to be great. And you know, we were, yeah, and as I mentioned, yeah, as I told you, Ben McKenzie, who plays Jim Gordon on Gotham, was on the OC, the show The
Yes,
OC.
he was. Oh, Jeb Bush is dropping out. Breaking
Ah,
news.
finally, finally.
Oh, thank God. Okay, we
He
got it.
knew, yeah.
He's out. He's out.
He wasn't going to stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, George ruined the Bush reputation. Uh,
Oh, we're getting political.
enough with politics. Let's see here. That's pretty much it for Better Call Saul. Oh, the teasing that Chuck and Jimmy is going to have a awkward reunion this coming to Monday.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Um, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Um, I think out of the three shows that we reviewed here,
Hmm.
as much as I like The Walking Dead, Better Call Saul was the best of the week.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Better Call Saul really strong opening.
Yeah. Oh, have you been watching the People versus O.J. Simpson, which comes on Tuesday nights at 10
I've
your
heard
time?
about it. I haven't watched it, but I haven't.
It's really good. It's really good.
Oh, really?
It
I'm
really
gonna have to
is.
check that
Yeah.
out. Definitely gonna have to check
It
that out.
they've aired three of them already. It's a 10-part miniseries.
Yeah, I've heard about. I
So
heard it's gonna basically, follow the '80s trial that happened back in the
90s.
'90s.
90s.
I seriously thought it was '80s.
Yeah, you were young when that was going on. You were
Yeah,
really
I
young.
was. I was born in '93, and that whole thing was going on in like '92 or '93, somewhere.
94. It happened
'94.
in 94. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one. So, but
And
I've seen, I've heard, I know my pulp culture and all that crap. I've seen that slow freaking white Jeep chase they had.
The Ford Bronco, yeah. They
Yeah,
recreated that on the second episode of this miniseries.
they
The
might as
white.
well just use the real footage.
They did use some of it. They
Oh
used
yeah.
some of it, like some of the news archive
Hmm.
footage.
Yeah,
But I mean, but obviously, since it is a TV movie, they also shot
some footage
footage
of it.
of yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot to mention a little nod that I've noticed was that Saul's cell phone was in a plastic bag in the pool. Walt had his cell phone in a plastic bag when he had it in the toilet tank of the toilet.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah,
So that might be a little nod to
when he was using the two phones, when he was using the two cell
yeah, when he was
phones.
using the two cell phones, he had it in a plastic bag in the toilet tank. But we discussed a lot of episodes.
Yep.
If I had to rank the shows, I'm gonna have to say X Files dead last, Walking Dead
Yeah.
come in the second place, Better Call Saul first place.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call
Yes.
Saul, yeah. So
I'm just glad to see Mike back. I mean, well, I
yeah,
mean Saul. I'm not trashing Saul or anything like that. I'm not saying the other characters aren't great,
hmm
but you know me and Mike. I love Mike.
yeah. I mean, as soon as you see Mike, you know shit's about to happen. Shit's about to go
Uh huh.
down.
I'm a big fan of Jonathan
You
Banks
know,
and of
I hope
that
Mike has.
character.
I hope Mike has his solo episode this season, like he did in season one.
That would be great. That would be great to have him another solo episode, and he can
Yeah,
carry it off. Jonathan Banks is good
yeah,
enough to carry it off.
yeah. I mean, if
Hey,
Mike
he was
does,
nominated for an Emmy. He was nominated for an Emmy, I think, for that episode.
yeah, he was. Did he get it though?
No, he didn't win it, but he was nominated. So
Yeah, I saw that he was nominated. But you know, if Mike has another solo episode, I feel that they're going to take this into Gus territory pretty soon. Pretty soon, Gus is coming up,
I hope so. Yeah, I want to
and
see Gus. I want to see. Of course, Giancarlo Esposito. He says, "Yeah, I want to be Gus. He
now
wants to be Gus."
if they are following Breaking Bad, Gus makes an appearance in season two of Breaking Bad. We are in season two of Better Call Saul,
Also, yeah,
so Gus might make an appearance.
that will be epic if they have him because they have to establish how Mike came to work for Gus.
Yeah, and with that Mike name dropping Tuco and Gus has a relationship there
Yeah, yeah,
with the Salamakas.
yeah. With the cartel.
Yes, so we're getting into dangerous ground here.
And I hope maybe Gonzo will show up again.
Oh, I hope so too. We need
Yes.
Jesus.
So yeah,
We need to,
we're gonna see him. We're gonna be having him on our other channel this Wednesday night.
yes,
He is finally going.
as of right now, it's confirmed that Jesus will make an appearance on Looking for Bigfoot News Hour Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Sweet, sweet.
We're going to talk
Yes.
Bigfoot. We're going to talk paranormal.
Breaking Bad.
We might talk a little Breaking Bad. We might talk a little bit Better Call Saul.
Also, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got to.
So
I mean, yeah,
we
we're
got
gonna
to.
have Gonzo. We're gonna have
It's
Gonzo with us.
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus messaged me on Facebook. I don't know if I should. I'll tell you after we go off the air.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this is top secret now territory. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on these three shows. Next week we're going to discuss the season finale of the X Files, the second episode of Walking Dead, which airs tomorrow night,
And
and
the
the
second
second
Better Call
episode of
Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Yep.
It's going to be another loaded show, but I got a feeling that next week's episode, I got a feeling that Walking Dead is going to be epic. X Files is going to be epic. Better Call Saul is going to be epic. So, oh, by the way, we will return with Breaking Bad cast on March 5th. March 5th.
Okay. March 5th. That's the day the Grammy Museum opens here in Cleveland,
Sweet.
Cleveland, Mississippi. Yep.
Sweet. So,
And we're hoping we'll I hope we'll be going to that. Maybe on
Oh, yeah.
opening day.
Well, not on opening day because they're going to be packed full of people. Wait until it clears out, then you can go.
Yeah, yeah. I wish we could go on opening day because the governor is going to be there. Our governor, our state governor, Phil Bryant, he's going to be there.
Hmm.
Not David Morrissey. Not David Morrissey.
The governor's going to be there. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Although most governors are crazy, like the Walking Dead governor, and most governors can't be trusted like the Walking Dead governor. So he really brought the realism among governors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on that note, let's go ahead and end this. We'll see you here tomorrow night on the Looking for Bigfoot channel with Real or Not Real. We'll
Yeah.
air right after 10:30 for right after The Walking Dead, basically.
Yep.
So and then catch us here catch us there again on Wednesday night with Jesus as we talk Bigfoot,
And Friday
and
night,
then Friday
Sasquatch
night
Theater.
is
The
Sasquatch Theater.
capture of Bigfoot.
It's the capture Bigfoot. Hopefully, it's freaking better than what we watched last night. And then again Saturday night with Xcast and
Yep.
Better Call Saul and Walking Dead. Until
Yeah.
then, good night, everybody.